I would say really it's just like work hard and have fun. Like if you put the work in and you know that you're putting the work in and like it's a game. Like so many people it is a like I know it's a lifestyle and so many people pour their heart and soul into it. Um but like at the end of the day like the ball's going to stop bouncing eventually and if you take the
Yeah.
lessons and you take the relationships that you have from basketball,
Oh
like it's
man,
going to set
fresh
you up
about
for
to
life.
say it. February
So
10th, it's
like
a boy, but I'm still the
that's where the
man.
work
Call me
hard part
kitchen
comes in, and
dance.
then the
I don't
have
know.
fun is
First you
like
caught their
you're going to be
hands, then you
playing
took
with
a
like some of
stand.
your
It's a
best friends
joke,
almost
but
all
you
the
say
time.
you
Like
real. I don't
whether like
understand.
even if you're
Only
not
I
close
was
with
being
people
all the
now,
dogs.
like
Acting
once you
like
get to
some
college, you're
dogs.
going
We
to build
involved. You say
relationships that are going to
vacation,
last
man.
you a
I ain't from
lifetime.
Paul.
And
Swear to God. Shot at
being able to
Buffalo.
go out
Never
and
dropped it
play
low.
a
I'm
sport that
stuck,
everybody
man. I'm stuck
loves
on gold. I was
with
up the
the
road.
people that
Fuck
you
a
love,
op.
like
Make
there
everybody
really is no
roll.
better
Yeah,
feeling
lot
to
of
that.
those. All
So
that I doing kinda
working
slow.
hard is going
Couch
to take you
quiet,
so much
flow.
further
Then I
in life,
pop
and
like
just
you
having
never
fun is
seen me.
going
Give
to
it
be
everything. I
like
went
what
up
helps
to
you
the
enjoy the
16.
moment.
Give me
So I would
17.
say those two.
Can't have everything. Can't have everything. Want a lot. Can't have everything, but I want everything.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good. I'm really glad I was able to, finally meet you, and I'm glad you're able to join the podcast today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course, of course. So we're gonna take things from the top. So what are your earliest memories with basketball, and what really got you started with everything?
So I've been around the game for like my whole life, basically. My mom was a Division I college coach, so I grew up going to her practices, traveling with the team, being a water girl behind their benches. Like it was just something that I loved to be around. I think the first time I played games was like second grade, maybe. But I wasn't really good until I got to high school. I was, trying to grow into my body and figure out, what I wanted to do. I also played volleyball, so I was going back and forth of which one I wanted to play. But yeah, I think I started taking basketball seriously once COVID hit, which was my sophomore year of high school. So that stretch, I definitely took it upon myself to get stronger, get quicker, just get better in every asset. And yeah, that's really what helped me to be where I am today.
Okay, okay, that's good. I hear that from a lot of people. I just talked to someone yesterday actually about like COVID times. I feel like there were two sides of it. Some people were like, "Oh, COVID
hmm
happened, so I kind of had to take a break and stuff." And then there's other people who kind of worked harder and it kind of gave them so much time to get better at whatever they did. So
hmm
I can see that. So
Yeah.
what so what are you saying?
No, I was gonna say it was a weird time for everybody. Everybody kind of took
Mhm.
it a different way. So I
Right.
definitely see those sides to that.
So what actually made you start taking basketball more seriously? Was it something that happened or was it just kind of you growing into it?
Um, I think for me, like after my freshman year of AAU, um, everybody kept saying like, "Oh, she can be really good. She could be really good. Like she's gonna get there." And for me, like it wasn't something that I always saw. Like I never really tried to look too much ahead, just because like it stressed me out and I didn't want to get too wrapped up in everything. So, when people started saying that, and then we had that extended period of time, I was like, okay, like let's see how good I can really be. And yeah, it just kind of took off. And then once we got back, I think it was my high school team. We started playing in like a fall league, and it was like mess and everything, and no fans, and um, they recorded it, and I started playing well. And I would just sit and watch film and rewatch games over and over, and just start picking apart my game in a different way that I never really did before. And I started to fall in love with film and fall in love with like trying to learn more about the game. And I think that just really elevated, where I was at to where I got to.
Mhm. Yeah, that's good to hear. I hear that a lot, or just like as a basketball player, how important it is to watch film and really understand the game outside of actually physically working out and doing it. So I think that's a really good attribute to have because not everybody really has that.
Yeah, it definitely sets you apart from everybody else when you know and you understand the game and you figure out like who you're playing with and how you can better them. It just elevates your game so much more.
Right, yeah, and you see it today. You're performing really well at the Division I level, so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Of
Thank you.
course. So tell me a little bit about your high school experience. I know you mentioned you played AAU, so just tell me a little bit more about the
Mhm.
whole 4 years.
So, the funny thing is, my mom was actually my head coach in high school. She was there. So once my sister was born, she kind of took a break from college basketball, and then she wanted to get back into it once my other brother was born. So she started coaching at my high school nearby while I was in grade school, and then their head coach retired. So she was like, "Is it okay if I take the head job? Like, would you be okay with, me being your head coach?" And I was like, "Yeah, like that would be awesome." And it really was. Like I've heard so many horror stories of parents coaching their kids and just not working out. But me and my mom are really close, so I think that helped a lot with my transition from, grade school basketball to high school basketball. Um, and I said this before, like I wasn't really good until my junior year. Like sophomore year, I started hitting strides towards the end, and then I got cut short. But coming back junior year, it was a huge jump for me. It definitely put my name out there and started hearing more from college coaches, and I played for the Comets basketball AAU program, which is like based right outside of Philadelphia. So they've had a lot of good people come out of their program. So I knew I was in good hands in that in AAU and that kind of sense. But yeah, I would definitely say my junior year is where it all kind of started going
Mhm.
going up from for me, and that's when I started getting a lot of recognition.
Okay, that's good. That's good to hear, especially as a junior myself.
Hmm.
Um, Talk to me a little bit more about the AAU, specifically for me, because a little bit about me, I'm coming from out of the country. I just got to a prep school and I'm about to go into my first AAU real travel season. So, like live periods and
Okay.
stuff like that. So, what kind of stuff can you tell me based on your experience playing in those areas?
Yeah, so for me, my AU team, we had like 8 girls my last year. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of playing and just being able to go out and play with a lot of my like closest friends that I've played with for, like a while. I know it's different for you, but um, my advice would be just to go out and enjoy everything. Like people are going to try and amp up everything. They're going to be like, "Oh, who's coming to this game? Who's coming to that game?" You'll see like Gino Auriemma sitting sidelines, and like it'll feel so exciting. But again, like you're 17 years old and you're playing the game that you love. Like I feel like so many people nowadays just forget about that and forget why you're playing the game. So for me, I was like one of the only ones who wasn't committed at the time, my last year of AAU. So like coaches were still coming to our games, and people like my teammates would make jokes being like, "Oh, like we only have people at games because Maggie's not committed and they still want Maggie to come to their school." Um, and for me, I kind of like it didn't stress me out, but it was definitely something that I kept in the back of my mind, like, "Oh, I need to perform because if not, like people are going to come to our games, and like if I don't do this and if I don't do that, like people are going to come to our games." And I don't, it wasn't healthy. I know that now, but definitely just trying to like suppress a lot of stress that I put on myself wasn't the best. So when you're going into this, like have fun. Like I know that's so cliche to say, but like you are 17 years old and it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. I say this all the time. Like I miss it so much. Like I have like 2 games a week now and I'm like sore. But like in AAU, like you play like 5 a weekend and you're like ready to go. So definitely take advantage of everything. Play fearless, play reckless, not reckless, under control, you know what I mean? But like
Mhm.
have so much fun, and such a unique experience that not everybody gets to have. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's some really good advice. I'm definitely gonna take that. And yeah, I know it could be like a lot of pressure just going to these live periods because I'm coming from out of the country. We never play in areas where there's
Mhm.
college coaches everywhere just watching you perform. So that's really good advice. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
So tell me a little bit about, so you said things started to take off in junior year and you kind of started taking it seriously around that time. So during COVID and after COVID, tell me a little bit about your training schedule. Everybody's different, and even today. So, like, tell me a little bit about how your training was and how it's changed as you advanced in your career.
Yeah, my training in high school was definitely a lot different. I wasn't really lifting in high school. Like I was more focused on just like the skill aspect of basketball and just trying to get better at that. And then once I got to college, it's more of like a 50-50 balance between school and basketball. So obviously you have trainers, you have athletic trainers and strength and conditioning coaches, and then you have your position coach. So um, it's a lot of in the beginning for me, freshman year was a lot of building muscle, getting quicker, getting faster, adjusting to the pace of college basketball. So it was like lift in the morning for like 45 minutes, go to class, come back, have an individual workout, and then I would usually stay and shoot after the workout and then rinse repeat. Like the next day might be conditioning and then an individual. But then like
Mhm.
in season, it's more like 2.5 hour workouts or practices on top of lift. And then once we're in season, we don't really condition because, we're practicing, but it's usually lift 3 days a week, practice 2.5 hours, um, nonstop. So yeah, it's a lot. It's definitely a lot different from what I did in high school. But yeah, I mean, you adjust easily, so it's nothing too crazy.
Okay. That's good. I know in college it's a lot more structured and you have a lot more people working with you. So back to high school, did you work out a lot? I know you said you worked on the skills, but how often did you work out and stuff like that?
Um, I would say like I would work out, like I would go to practice, and then after practice, I would usually stay and shoot extra. So it was like practice and then another like extra hour, if that makes
Mhm.
sense. Um, out of like that was more in season. Out of season, I was more like on the track, like I would run a lot and then go inside and work out. So it was kind of like balanced like that. Again, like I didn't really start lifting until after my senior year of high school because I was like, oh, like maybe I should start getting stronger because they're gonna expect me to do a lot once I get there. But no, for in high school, it was more like a lot of ball handling because I was 6'1", 6'2", and just having that aspect of my game get stronger, it would definitely help me a lot. Um, and yeah, like different post moves and different kind of drives and stuff. I I actually wasn't allowed to like shoot the three for a while because my mom said it would like mess up my shot. So once I got to high school, it was I like focus on that a lot too, just because I didn't want to be too behind from everybody. Not that I wasn't a good shooter, but just because like people in gym class would be like jacking up threes, and I was like, I don't think I should do this. Like, I don't think
Mhm.
my mom would want me to do that. But yeah, and then the shooting aspect too definitely got a lot better once I started growing up too.
Mhm. Okay, that's good to hear. Yeah, I hear a lot from different athletes. Everybody's different when it comes to training, but I think a trend that I've been seeing is like the practice after practice aspect. And I think that like it's kind of a mentality, kind of just going that extra mile. I think that's what separates people who go like higher, farther in their basketball career in terms, and then like people who don't. So
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, definitely. I see that trend. So talking about college, where you are now, how are you able to balance academics and basketball?
It's hard. It's really hard. I'm not gonna lie to
Really?
you. But I mean, at Richmond, everybody like it's a small school, so everybody knows everybody. So a lot of our professors will come to our games, and like they're very flexible with my schedule, and I let them know beforehand, like, hey, I'm going to be missing these days for travel. Depending on the postseason, like I'll let you know. And they're all very supportive. They're all like, oh, like go do it, like go make us all proud here, and we'll figure out school once you get back. And extended deadlines are very helpful. And but I do think it is on the athlete to, take responsibility and stay ahead for themselves. Like you can't go like weeks without doing work and then come back and expect them to like, like just give you the A. Like you do have to work for it. But they are really helpful when you're traveling and you're in season. I mean, it is hard, but it gets done. It's not something that coach worries about. I think like our team as a whole is very good with balancing schoolwork and basketball.
That's good to hear. Yeah, and I feel like even in high school, it's important to establish that like relationship with your teachers, and it's important that they kind of support that because, every school is different, every teacher is different. So you're gonna come across teachers who kind of don't really care about sports or they're just like, oh, you're
Right,
just not here and stuff like that.
right.
So that's good to hear that you're able to have that at the college level.
Yeah, and it's also big too to try and get them to come to our games because, like when you're a small school, like it's hard to get people to come to your games. So coach really emphasizes like talk about it in class, try and get students to come, get your professors to get on board with stuff. So it also it's kind of a recruiting kind of tactic almost.
Mhm. That's nice. That's really good to hear. So
Mhm.
in sports, it's just kind of universal. Everybody goes through ups and downs. Everybody faces adversity. That's just sports in general and even life in general. So tell me a little bit about what kind of adversity have you faced in your career so far, and how are you able to overcome it?
Um, yeah, I think for me, it's more of like self-inflicted pressures that really get to me. Last year especially was really hard because I was coming off of a good freshman year. Um, and I felt like I had a lot of expectations to uphold, and I really let that get to me. It was a lot of tears. I will say I cried a lot, and I had a lot of like not so it wasn't doubt because I knew I could do it. It was more of like, is this enough? Is this what everybody wants from me? Um, and that got to my head a lot, and I it wasn't good for me, not just on the court, like it wasn't good for me off the court. But what really helped me was just like talking to somebody about it. Sometimes like I would talk to coach about it, just because like he's known like what's been going on and stuff. I talked to a lot of people back home. Home was also a really good medication for me. I'm a big homebody, and Richmond's like 4 hours from my house, so it's not too far, but being home definitely helps reset everything for me. Um, other than that, like I really I would say it's just more talking to people and knowing that you're not alone, like you're not the only person feeling like this. Like so many other athletes have put a lot of pressure on themselves, and that's not uncommon. I think that kind of helped me a lot. But then it's also like hearing that like nobody's expecting you to be perfect all the time. And I'm a big perfectionist, I'm a big people pleaser. So like if I feel like I'm disappointing somebody, I like it's just like, oh my gosh, like what can I do? Like why is this why are you mad? Like stuff like that. Um
Mhm.
and you kind of have to like deprogram yourself and say like, hey, like human, you make mistakes. It's okay. And start living that way and accepting that you're not going to be perfect 100% of the time. And yeah, like it's just it's a lot. And um but like when you do have people to help you get through it, it's awesome.
That's good. Yeah, that's good to hear. Like even you saying how you can like talk and see that you're not alone in this. A lot of athletes go through it. And I think even for me, like I hear both sides of the story. There's two like kind of types of adversity that you kind of see in sports. It'll be either be like an injury, something that you can't really control because it's, just something that happened to you. And then it's the other side of it where it's kind of like a mental thing where it feels like you can control it, but it's like not being controlled. So it's like you said, like what can I do? What can I do? And stuff like that. So it's good to hear that from you.
Yeah, one of my teammates also that kind of helped me out. Like she was going through an ACL recovery, so I was like part of me, like in my mind, I was like you could that could be you right now, but you get to be on the court. Like you can't you can't worry about the little things when like the big picture is like you could not be playing right now. So it was kind of like that mentality too. I love her. She's back. She's healthy. She's all good. But like at that time, it was like that could be you. Like you have to appreciate what you have and just make the most of it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly how I was thinking even this past season. Like, talking about injuries and stuff. And that's something I see someone who's injured in the basketball, in high school, maybe be in my grade. And, once you get to the end of high school, it's kind of like crunch time. You want to get recruited, you want people to
Mhm.
see you playing and stuff like that. So just kind of having that mentality like, oh, I could be injured, but I'm able to play, so let me make the best of this situation and just kind of go
Right.
through it. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, like I hear from a lot of people because I've been, even just this week, I've talked to so many basketball players of all different levels. Like I hear this repetitively. It's like everything happens for a reason.
Exactly. That's like
hmm
something I live by is that quote.
Right, right. Yeah. So another question. So you've been performing pretty well throughout your college. I know you're a junior now. So do you have any plans of playing after college?
That's definitely something that I have been taking more seriously now. I do think it is something that I would really like. It's something I dreamed of when I was growing up, so I would be kind of crazy not to try and pursue those dreams. But yeah, there's a lot that goes into it too. Is do I want to start my life? Do I want to get a real job and go to the corporate America and all that kind of
hmm
stuff? But yeah, I think if I was given the opportunity, I would definitely take it.
That's good. That's good to hear. And I saw that recently you've been having some really big games. Georgia Tech, I believe it was, you had 30 and I believe 15 if I'm not mistaken. And then you just had
Mhm.
27 against UCLA. So tell me a little bit about your mentality going into those games and how you were able to perform at that level.
Yeah. So before that, we had lost in the semifinals of our conference tournament. And I didn't really play well. I kind of took it upon myself, like, oh, like you didn't. Not that I need to score. I don't think that was my mentality at all. But like when your team kind of relies on you and you don't perform the way you have been all season, like I took that really hard. I still think about that sometimes just because like I know we had the talent to win the tournament and I mean it just didn't go our way. So like you said, like everything happens for a reason. Like we get picked to go to LA and that just kind of like reset my mentality. Like, yeah, like we didn't win our conference, but we're a mid-major and we still got picked to go to the big dance. And I think that was just a huge testament to what we have done all season. And for me it was kind of a confidence booster. Like, yeah, like we did that. Like we worked all season for that and we did that. And now we're an 8 seed going to LA playing Georgia Tech and I think when you have those big games like that, you just prep really hard. Our coaches, like I bet you they didn't really sleep a lot that week. Like they wanted to win just as much as we wanted to win. I think that's great for the team culture, but it's also great for us being like our coaches have so much confidence in us to beat these teams. And I think that was all it was for me. It was just confidence. Like I knew that I was good and I knew that I didn't perform well the last game and I have another chance to prove myself. And I went out and my team, we played extremely well. I think the reason that I get so wide open sometimes is the way that my teammates move. Our offense is really hard to guard, so we were able to get their heads spinning, and I was able to find shots. Thank God I knocked some shots down, um, which helped a lot. But yeah, we just played out of our minds, and we were so locked in as a team, and I think that's really what propelled me to have such a great game.
That's good. And I hear you talking about confidence too. I hear a lot of people, well, even as a player, like confidence is such a large part of the game, like past
Yeah.
the physical like abilities. I think that's really
Mhm.
good.
Yeah, confidence is huge, especially when like in your like situation, like confidence is such a big thing going from high school to college. You have to go in there and just think like I own the gym and I'm gonna do everything I can to win. And that's
Mhm.
really all it is.
Yeah, and it's funny because I don't know if you've experienced it too, but I've come across people who don't train half as hard as me, or I'll be
Hmm.
like, they don't even work out. How are they so good? But it's kind of in your mind. It's like 80% mental,
Yeah,
20% physical. So you definitely see that.
exactly. No, yeah, you're exactly right.
For sure. So we're gonna end the interview off with just a few quick questions. So the first one is just walk me through your pregame routine. So what is something that you kind of do pregame that, has kind of been consistent throughout your career so far?
Um, I straighten my hair before every game. It doesn't always stay straight, but that helps me kind of calm down. I listen to music. Recently, or like the past couple seasons, I've realized that like hype music just like amps me up more than I really need to. So I usually turn on some worship music to try and calm my mind and just get my head in the right headspace. And then when we're at, for home games, I sit on the same taping table, tape my left ankle first, tape my right ankle. left shoe, right shoe, just like stupid stuff like that that it doesn't affect how I play, but in my head I just need to go through the steps and make sure that I'm doing everything.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's really it.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I think routine is important, especially if you're doing it consistently. I think it can kind of, wire your mind to be able to play at a certain level and just be calm and consistent with your game.
Yep, yep.
So next question is what have been your favorite shoes to play in?
Oh, I'm not a big sneakerhead. I want to, and I can't get there. But Richmond is Adidas, so I think I played really well in the James Hardens. I don't know what like the name of them are, but they were pink and I know they were James Hardens, and I played really well in them, so I would say those.
Okay, okay. Yeah, James Harden has had some really nice shoes lately. Uh,
Hmm.
I've kind of seen I know you said you're not really much of a sneakerhead, but it's kind of coming for Nike, I think. Like Adidas has kind
Oh,
of gone up in the basketball
yeah,
shoe world, so yeah.
yeah. No, they have, they
Hmm.
have.
So next one, what is a common misconception about playing Division One basketball that maybe other people wouldn't know unless they actually got there?
Oh, that's a good question. Um, Probably that like you're still in college and you're still like a college student. I think that people just dream of going D1, like, oh, like I want to go Division 1. I want to play Division 1 basketball. And yeah, that's all really cool, but you're still a college student. Like you're still gonna have nerves going to your first class. Like you're still gonna have nerves meeting new people and um like you're still gonna want to try and like be as social as you can and meet as many people as you can. And I think like I definitely underestimated all that. Like funny story, real quick. Me and my teammate, we were supposed to be roommates freshman year, and we messed up housing, so we got paired with like random people, and like my freshman year roommate is still like one of my best friends to this day, and like that never would have happened if like if we hadn't like messed up housing, but like I went in with an open mind, and I'm just so grateful for everything that she's done for me. So I feel like just like meeting different kind of people and being open to new experiences is something that not everybody thinks about when they go to Division 1.
Hmm. That's good to hear. Yeah. I mean, even like hearing what you're saying, like when you think about college, it's like people from all over. It's not really just like
Hmm.
people from the area. People dream of traveling to go to college in different places. So I can see how it's
Right.
like a lot of different people.
Yeah, and you
That's
have to be
good.
willing to like listen too. They're like I have people from LA in my class and then I have people from like Wisconsin in my class. Like and they come from like totally different life experiences. So just being able to like hear like different ways of living is also really cool.
Hmm. Yeah, that's definitely good, especially, being a social person. I think it doesn't really give you that much to be kind of a reserved person, especially when you're in those areas with so many different kinds of people and personalities and stuff.
Exactly. It's really cool.
Okay, so with that being said, I know you're in college now, and I'm sure you've played in a lot of different places, different arenas in your career so far. So what has been your favorite environment to play in?
Ooh. Um, so I'll do one from college and one from high school just because high school was just unmatched. In college, I would say this year against VCU. VCU is like right down the street from us, maybe like 15 minutes down the road, and they're in our conference, so it's a big rivalry game. When we played them at home this year, we had like a record-breaking attendance. So many people from the city came, and it was so loud, and we played so well. So I think that kind of atmosphere was definitely my favorite. Even playing at VCU, like so many Richmond people come out, and just that kind of rivalry, being able to go 10 minutes down the road and still like almost be a home game because so many of your fans go. Like I think that's a really cool experience. I mean, obviously playing at UCLA too was unbelievable and definitely a once in a lifetime opportunity that I definitely do not take for granted. Like that was an awesome, awesome experience. And then in high school, I played in the Philadelphia Catholic League, and they play all of their championship games at the University of Pennsylvania, so like UPenn, at the Palestra, which is a very famous basketball gym, one of the meccas in basketball. And we played right before the guys. So by the end of our game, like the whole gym was packed. And we ended up winning. So being able to like cut down the net in front of like your whole school, like we had a whole bunch of students there, your whole family, like that was something that I'll never forget, and just such a really cool experience too.
That's good. Yeah, basketball can take you to a lot of different places. So even just being able to play with so much support from people maybe you don't even know can be super great. And
Hmm.
especially when you're playing well. This past game with
Yeah.
UCLA, you're able to play well and kind of feed off the energy of the crowd. So that's really good.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
All right. So next one, what is one lesson you've learned so far? So you're in college now, but throughout your whole career, what is one lesson you kind of learned?
Um, I think like one of the lessons I would say is like you have to be like willing to adapt to certain things. Like you're going to be coached by different people, and especially when you get to college, like hopefully you pick a good school and a good coach that you want to learn from and you want to, play under. But I think one of the biggest lessons is like be okay with criticism and be okay with adapting and learning new things. I think that just goes far from just basketball. I think that just like life in general. Like most of the time when people are correcting you, it's because they want you to do better and they have like your best intentions at heart. And um, like for me, like I said earlier, like I'm a perfectionist. So like when people try and correct me, I'm like, oh, like what am I doing wrong? Like I'm not doing well. Like I'm messing up. Like whatever. Um, and I think it took me a while to like figure out like, oh, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to learn, and like learning is what's gonna help you grow. Um, and I think basketball taught me that. But then I started realizing that in other aspects of my life, and I think it's just like a really important life lesson to learn, just like as a whole, not just in basketball.
Yeah, that's good to hear because yeah, especially dealing with a lot of different coaches throughout your career. I know you were coached by your mom at first, but I know that transition to being coached from someone that you're like just meeting is a lot different. So I think having an open mind can kind of help you like exceed and understand them as well. That's good.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
So the final question, it's kind of along the lines the one before, but just kind of for the younger kids or just people aspiring. So what is it, some advice you would give someone who aspires to be in the position that you're in today?
I would say this is so cliche, but really it's just like work hard and have fun. Like if you put the work in and you know that you're putting the work in and like you're like it's a game. Like so many people, it is a like I know it's a lifestyle and so many people pour their heart and soul into it. Um, but like at the end of the day, like the ball's gonna stop bouncing eventually. And if you take the lessons and you take the relationships that you have from basketball, like it's gonna set you up for life. So like that's where the work hard part comes in. And then the have fun is like you're gonna be playing with like some of your best friends almost all the time. Like whether like even if you're not close with people now, like once you get to college, you're going to build relationships that are going to last you a lifetime. And being able to go out and play a sport that everybody loves with the people that you love, like there really is no better feeling to that. So working hard is going to take you so much further in life, and just having fun is going to be like what helps you enjoy the moment. So I would say those two.
Okay, okay, I appreciate that. I'm gonna take that for myself. I also appreciate you being able to come on to the podcast today and keep me posted. I'm gonna be following the Instagram and I wish you good luck this next season.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Of course, of course.